Now I'm recording. Third attempt at recording. Good evening, everyone. It's your boy Teriyaki coming to you live from the Fat Cave. Same fat time, same fat channel. Just back from the Black Panther movie. We got 4 of the last seats remaining. A 6:20 show. I'm sorry, I got a Facebook popped up there. 6:20 show on a Tuesday night. We got 4 of the last seats available. The place looked to be probably 90% sold out. I know that movie is doing gangbusters business, setting all kinds of records for Marvel movies and movies in general. So that's good. A few people have asked me since I started this all of like 9 days ago about why I use the narrow screen. Just because there's not much to look at. It's just my talking head. I don't have like CGI fireworks going on in the background or green screen hanging in the African savannah behind me with giraffes and lions bounding past, or 2001: A Space Odyssey screen behind me. As I get better at making these videos, and as the situation warrants using this screen instead of this, then I will do that. Hopefully, these videos won't be just talking heads for now, but for now, that's what I got. I got too many irons in the fire right now to be burning a bunch of time learning how to be a better YouTuber, he says on his YouTube channel. Anyway, so it's going to stay like this for a while. I hope you can live with that. I am starting the Terry O'Brien 2018 Weight Loss Challenge, and I'm doing it here in public so that you can all shame me if I fail. I'm not saying what weight I started at until I lose at least 20 pounds. Then I'll have the guts to tell you where I started. It's just time. Every winter I put on a few pounds. Then I usually burn it off, most of it in the summer, to get down to my only being 50 pounds overweight. This time I'd like to get within 20 pounds of my goal, my ideal weight, which is about half of what I weigh right now. Anyway, it's just time. So that's all. I will give you an update. Let's do like weekly. So every Tuesday or so, I'll tell you, hey, I'm up 2 pounds or I'm down 2 pounds. But I'm doing it here, and you should start seeing it in here as the weeks go by. And I thank YouTube videos for being the impetus to start losing some weight, because it's really hard to look at yourself in a camera for 10, 20 minutes a day. And anyway, I just finished L.A. Requiem, the Robert Crace novel I had sitting here as a visual aid, but of course I put back on my bookshelf. So I have no visual aid except for this masterwork right here. Again, I think it's the 7th book in the Elvis Cole series. Elvis Cole and his partner Joe Pike own an L.A. private detective agency and go on various adventures. The first 6 books they always have moments of real emotion and great storytelling, and the adventures, so the mysteries are all really crackerjack mysteries that sort of twist and turn till the end. Robert Crace is a very classic mystery writer in that regard. But with L.A. Requiem, this book reaches a sort of level of emotional maturity. Do I sound pretentious saying that? You get the Joe Pike. Joe Pike is one of the great characters of any. Elvis Cole was great. Joe Pike is a fantastic character, and until you read a few of those books, you don't know what I'm talking about. And so I very strongly recommend you start reading Robert Crace's Elvis Cole mysteries. There's 17 of them now. They're all in the library. Trust me. That's where I read the first 13. And the 17th just came out the day after Christmas, and it holds up with all the rest of them. What's interesting is watching these characters develop over, almost a little over 30 years now. They started out as young men. They're not quite as young men anymore. But with L.A. Requiem, the series reaches a sort of new level of emotional maturity, and Robert Crace's writing just really, it just jumps off the page. And I only cried about 5 times during this one. I always cry a few times during these Robert Crace novels. He just writes with such machismo, but also great tenderness. It's just really, really great stuff. And I spend the last 20 pages of every Robert Crace novel crying my eyes out. So L.A. Requiem is really great. To go into the plot is kind of pointless, because the plots of all these books sort of blend together after a while. This is my 7th one I've read in the last 2 weeks, and I could barely tell you what the plots of the first 6 were. except that they're great crackerjack adventures. They're great mysteries. There's great action. There's great suspense. There's twists. There's turns. But you get to spend time with these two great characters and another handful of the supporting characters. You just get to feel like you know them. That's why this is my second or third time reading these books, and that's why I keep going back to them because they're characters you grow familiar with. It's like I rewatched The Office all last week. That doesn't hold up quite as well as these Robert Crace novels, but it's like, oh, I remember this. Oh, I remember these guys. And you spend 9 years with those characters on The Office, and you got, wow, that was, at that point, over 25% of my life I hung out with those guys. Like when you watch Cheers or MASH, and it's like, oh my gosh, those guys ate up hours of my life, and I enjoyed every second of it. And that's why I return to these novels. They take 3 or 4 days to read back through them, and you just get that comfort of going back, and you sort of know there's 17 of them, so they're not going to die. And you sort of get that comfort of revisiting these great stories and remembering, oh yeah, the connections that you remember. Anyway, this isn't really a review of more of a Robert. Oh my God, Misty and Xena, can you see her? She's out there. They must be hungry. They're being nice to me. Anyway, pick up these Robert Crace novels. If you can start at the beginning, that would be great. The Monkey's Raincoat was the first one from, I think, 1985. And that won all kinds of awards when it came out. And I'm already pushing 10 minutes. Just get on that trolley. If you know me for any length of time, when I get into something, I'm very, very into it. The Billy Joel, the Beatles, Squeeze, Robert Crace, Marvel Comics, things I take an interest in. I take a very deep interest in and stay interested in, sort of to the detriment of many, many other things. I could have been reading 9 other novels aside from the Robert Crace novels these last couple of weeks. But you know what? I like the Crace novels. I go back to them because they're comfortable and they're just great stories. So start reading Robert Crace wherever you want. As I said, just got back from the Black Panther. It's a top 5 Marvel movie, maybe top 3. I enjoyed Captain America Civil War a little more, maybe even Captain America Winter Soldier. Iron Man 1 is up there, but it's right there in the mix of best Marvel movies. And there's been lots of time. It's doing incredibly well at the box office. It's going to end up probably being in the top 2 or 3 most financially successful Marvel movies. It probably won't outdo Avengers, which did like almost $1 billion, but it's already like touching 300 million. And as I mentioned before, there were maybe 10 empty seats in our theaters tonight that held, maybe 150 people. So it's good. It's great. And it's a very good movie. It deserves all the praise it's getting. I think a little bit of it is overblown for political reasons, but that's fine. That doesn't affect my life at all. I mean, it's currently listed as the best movie of all time on Rotten Tomatoes with a higher rating than like Gone with the Wind and Wizard of Oz. That's a little much, but it's a perfectly fine superhero movie. Not as political as I thought it was going to be. There's a few little digs in there, but they were all sort of fitting within the characters and the story. And listen, I like a good political joke as much. For those who don't know me, I lean a little bit towards the conservative side. But I don't mind political jokes as long as they're funny. Funny political jokes are fine. All the shows I wrote in Lanes had 4 or 5 political jokes each. Couple against that side, a couple against that side, and as long as they're funny, I don't mind. Funny and relatively even-handed. The relentless John Oliver, Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert grinding and pounding on the same 3 subjects over and over is not only tiresome, it's lazy. Fortunately, I don't watch. Just so you know, I don't watch any cable news. I don't watch any late night TV. I read headlines from 3 or 4 different websites, and I figure somewhere in the middle lies the truth on all these things. Anyway, the movie's really good. I won't spoil anything except to say that Michael B. Jordan, who plays the bad guy in this, absolutely walks away with the movie. And I always sort of do dream casting of the Robert Crace books in my mind, and I would be absolutely thrilled if Michael B. Jordan played Joe Pike in an Elvis Cole movie that came out next year. Sadly, that's never going to happen because Robert Crace has said there will never be an Elvis Cole movie as long as he's alive, and he's in his 60s and in relatively good health, so not sure when that's going to happen. But it's a damn shame because there's so much great material out there that he's done. But again, he worked in Hollywood for a while, so I'm sure he's seen too many good stories be burnt to ash. By all the best intentions of Hollywood types. I'm sorry if I'm breathing heavy. It's because I'm full of Twizzlers, M&Ms, popcorn, and Coca-Cola. It's another reason why I got to go on this diet. Um, plus, I had to hit all those high notes in the Beatles shows, and it's hard to do when you can't take a deep breath. But yeah, Black Panther was very, very good. Chadwick Boseman was fine as the lead character. Those parts can be kind of boring because you're just sort of the steadfast, stoic hero, and everyone knows that the bad guy parts are the most fun to play. It's probably why Michael B. Jordan chose that part to play, and he absolutely crushed it and knocked it out of the park. Other person who stole this movie was Letitia Wright, who plays Black Panther's sister. Very, very good. She was in an episode of Black Mirror called Black Museum. So Black Panther, Black Mirror, Black Museum. Not the greatest episode, but she's very good in it. If you don't watch Black Mirror, get on that. I'll talk about it in a future video. While we're on the topic of comic books-ish, so you got my notes. Marvel Comics announced today they're doing a total revamp of their line, going back to the traditional characters that most of us grew up with, sort of putting an end to this, as some might call the SJW era of comics, the social justice warrior era of comics I touched on in a previous video. Thor's going to be Thor, Captain America's going to be Captain America, Tony Stark's going to be Iron Man. They're going to go back to their what they call their legacy characters, and I really, really hope they can take some of these sort of SJW characters and spin them off into successful series and movies and television shows, because that's what the industry needs. Comic books are a dying form of media, like any print media. But I'm a huge Marvel guy, so I'd really like to see it get turned around. I'm going to hit a couple more things here. I'm already at 12 minutes. Thanks again to everyone who was able to come to Beatles Night. Fantastic success. Cabanas made money. The band made money. Hopefully everyone there had enough to drink and eat. Didn't sell those t-shirts, so if you want a t-shirt, let me know. I could have a surprise show coming up here in the next 2 weeks. I can't say anything yet because it's just sort of in the discussion, speculation phase right now, but might be something coming up semi-unexpected. April 22nd, again, is going to be the confirmed official opening night of Downton Stabby at the Iron Pier. We'll be going into rehearsals on that in the next couple of weeks. Me and my crew. And we'll do some behind-the-scenes videos there. I'll introduce you to the cast and crew. You can see our the room we'll be playing in. Very intimate room. Seats about 40 people. And it's going to be about $60 for dinner and the show. And I really look forward to taking that from the page to the stage and putting that room together and the lights and the sound and all. That's going to be a lot of fun. I do want to say a very happy birthday to my wife of, when did we get married? 17-ish years. September is it will be 18 years in September. So we're 17 and a half years-ish right now. This is my favorite 3 weeks of the year, between her birthday and mine, where she is 8 years older than me instead of 7, and I would never reveal her age, so I'm certainly not going to reveal my age. But her birthday is today, mine is on March 7th. We got her exactly what she wanted, which was to leave her alone to sleep off her illness while we were at the movie, and a chocolate cake. So she got a nap and cake, which is exactly what she wanted. Again, my birthday is coming up. There's a story behind my birthday, because I get 3 birthdays. I'll save that for when we get closer to it. I think that's about it for tonight. I'll be spending this week prepping for the show. I'm playing up in Northampton, Massachusetts, as we've talked about. My song recommendation of the week. I hope you all listened to Sons and Daughters and Some Fantastic Place. My song recommendation of this week is called 7. It's a song by Prince. Just the number 7. Or is it this way, looking at the camera? I'm not sure. Great song. Used to play with the O'Brien Brothers Band. And when we were playing at the Ugly Mug in those days, early 2000s, we would play that song and the bar would just stop and look up front like, what is this? It was a great song no one had ever heard. And we kind of brought that song to the forefront for a while. I'm talking to my YouTube people. Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Talk to the camera.
No. Here.
All right. Wait, there she is. Yes, there she almost got on camera.
Can you
Can we what?
Have cake.
Yes, we can have cake. I thought she was gonna say have kids. It's like, I thought we did that. So told her she got cake and a nap. Anyway, to close it up, Phillies are apparently in talks with Jake Arrieta, best pitcher on the Cubs team that won the World Series a few years back. I think that would be a great signing. 3 years, 85 million. I'd give him short-term commitment, lots of money. That'll get him here. Hold on, I gotta look at my YouTube numbers now because I forgot to bring it up before I've started the video. We need, of course, 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 consumed hours. We are currently at, drum roll please, still at 28. You can see right there. 28 subscribers. That's holding steady. Up to 23 hours consumed. So that's great. We just got to get a lot more of both of those going. We'll get there, though. It's early yet. As ever, make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. Hit the YouTube, the Twitter, the Patreon. If you got $1 a month, I'll take $1 a month. That's all going to go into TKO Productions. Our first order of business is to get ourselves a nice set of lavalier lapel mics for the show we're doing up at Iron Pier. So that would be the first tangible evidence of the Patreon helping out my production company. That's it. Subscribe to support the arts in Cape May. If I've forgotten anything, we'll try this again tomorrow. Go see Black Panther. It's a good movie. A little bit long. Could have been 15 minutes shorter for me. But I feel like everything should be 15 minutes shorter because I just want to get back to bed. That's all I really want to do. Until next time, be good.